the center cap off, use a straight blade screwdriver. Use a 22mm socket, take the lug nuts off. Pull the wheel off. I'm going to use a pull jack or a screw jack and just support the lower control arm right here. Just raise it up a little bit. I'm going to take this sway bar link out. I'm going to use a 14mm wrench up top and a 14mm socket underneath. Loosen this up. And if you're going to reuse this, just try to keep it all together the best you can. These bushings are going to fall off. There we go. Now I'm going to disconnect the lower shock bolt. Use a 21mm wrench on the bolt side and 21mm socket. Take the nut off right there. And you might have to adjust the control arm to get the bolt out. Just like that. I'm going to use a 36mm socket. Take this axle nut off. And take the washer off as well. You want to make sure the axle is loose from the wheel bearing. Just take a punch, give it a tap. That's loose, so that's good. Before we take this axle off, just mark it so that you put it back together, put it in the exact same location that you had it. Now use a 15mm socket, take these bolts out. All right, just take a hammer, give it a tap. And just separate this. Slide this down. You should be able to slide the axle right up. We're going to loosen up the tension on the torsion bar. We want to take this keyway out. To take this bolt out, you want to put this back where it was when you go to put this back together. You may still have to adjust it, but at least you can get a baseline. So what you can do is just take a socket and mark it. Loosen this up. As you loosen it, just count your turns. All right, so the tension's completely off of the keyway. Now the bolt's just in this piece right here. So I'm just gonna take it out the rest of the way. I got about 14 or 15 turns out of it. That's good. All right, so some of the tension's off that torsion bar. I'm just gonna take this screw jack, pull jack, loosen this up. I might need to add, I might need to put that back up, but for right now, just leave it down. Now we need to remove this adjuster bracket. You need this special tool to do this job. What you're gonna do is, there's a hole on top here where this part of the tool to go into that hole, and then this is going to push up on the keyway. Right there. So we'll tighten that up, and once it's raised up just enough, then we can push that bracket out of the way. All right. And just be careful and pull that out. Once you pull that out, you can loosen up on the tool, lower the keyway. And remove the tool. Right, I'm just going to take some rust penetrant, soak this down, let it soak for a little while right there. All the tension's off of that. Also on the lower control arm right there. And on the other side. I'm going to take a punch, and there's a hole right here on the back side, and just use a hammer and just try to punch the torsion bar out. There you go, that pops out. This QA slides right down like that. This bar can just hang out right here until we take those bolts out. But before we do that, we're going to take the ball joint off. Just use a little rust penetrant. It's a little bit rusty. Take a 24mm socket, remove this nut. There's many different front end tools you can try to use. There's some clamps that go around here and push up on the ball joint. You can take a hammer and try to break it free that way, or take a pickle fork, which is what I'm going to do. There we go. I'm going to take a 15/16 wrench and put it on the nut right here, and then use a 18mm socket. Loosen this bolt up here. I'll leave the bolt in there, just take the nut off first. And then take this nut off as well, this bolt out. There is a washer on the end of those. Take the washer off. Now just make sure you support these control arms, or just don't be underneath them when you take these bolts out. Take that bolt out. And take those bolts out. Let's slide this up, and you can slide the arm off the torsion bar, slide it out of your way. Take this grease fitting and just thread it in place at the top part of the ball joint. Take a 7mm wrench and just snug it up. All right, take the control arm, slide it over the torsion bar, go all the way through. And I'll start by lining the ball joint up. And then try to position the control arm. Yep. And take a dead blow hammer. Try to hammer it in place. And take the bolt. Get that bolt started. Just use a pry bar to try to line this up. And those are both good. Put the ball joint nut on. I'll tighten this up. And use a torque wrench and torque this to 74 foot-pounds. Right. Now put the washer on the bolt that goes right there, and then the nut. Get the nut started. And same on this back one. Then I'm going to raise this control arm up before I tighten these bolts and nuts down. You want this control arm to be as close to ride height as possible. What is advised is putting this whole thing back together, having it on the ground, and when the ride height is level, then you torque these, but that's very hard to do. So we're going to do the best we can right now. And we're going to torque these to 129 foot-pounds. All right, just lower the screw jack and take the keyway, slide it in position, and slide the torsion bar back through, just like that. All right, take the tool, put it in position, and you can tighten it up. Okay, that's good. And put this bracket in. And we can loosen up on the tool. And remove the tool and put the bolt in. And before we tighten this up, I'm actually going to attach the shock bolt. Okay, now I'll just use a screw jack. Get that lined up. Give it a tap. And put the nut on. And then torque this to 59 foot-pounds. Right, now I'm just going to lower the screw jack down. All right, take the CV shaft and line it up. And just make sure you line up your paint marks. Get the bolt started. And I'm just going to snug these up first. I'm going to start on this side and then rotate it 180 degrees. Tighten this one up. And then just go around, snug them all down. To prevent the axle from spinning, just put a pry bar in between here. I can use a torque wrench and torque these bolts to 58 foot-pounds. Take the washer, put the washer on, put the nut on. Using a pry bar and go in between the lug nuts so it doesn't spin. We go to tighten this and torque this to 177 foot-pounds. Right, we're going to take the link, get the link lined up. Slide that in underneath. And get the top bushing on. All right, now we'll tighten this up. And then we can torque this to 89 inch-pounds. Good. And take a grease gun and just push it on the grease fitting. Just give it a couple pumps. It's a good idea to watch the boot. And once you see the boot moving, then that should be enough. Now we can tighten up this bolt for the height adjuster. Make sure you count how many turns when you tighten it back up. If you took it out 20 turns, put it back to 20 to get at least a baseline, and then you can adjust accordingly. Put the wheel back up. Put the lug nuts on. Now I'm going to torque these lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a star pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And just go around again, double check. Install the center cap.